Here, I have some huge crypto news, and it's crypto news because it's about Digibyte. And I want you to understand where you are right now. And I've got to ask you a series of questions to get you to understand where you are right now just by watching this video. Okay. Because we're going to talk about a cryptocurrency that is so decentralized, governments don't want it around. Some wallets don't even want it around anymore. And there is a movement happening worldwide where it's so, well, I'm going to explain that in a second. Let me ask you this. Um, Type yes if you wish you would have bought just $50 worth of Bitcoin when it was a penny. I'm just asking you. I've got to get you to say it and type it out loud. And the reason why is I want to get you thinking about something, all right? Because there's only so many Bitcoins that will ever be in existence. What is it? 21 million, right? All right. So if we would have taken $100 or $50, $50 and bought Bitcoin at a penny, what would it be worth today? Right? A massive amount. Now, I'm not telling you that Digibyte is going to be worth what Bitcoin is. As a matter of fact, I think of this less as an investment financially, but an investment in your mind because this is going to wake so many people up. And with that being said, today is the last day for the Crypto Prepper course, which teaches you everything about Digibyte, how to run a node, how to touch a blockchain, how to download a core wallet, all that stuff. And it is going to change the way you think. A lot of people watching this video right now, type 1 if you bought the course, and it has changed the way that you think about cryptocurrency. All right. Now, there are only so many Digibyte that will ever be available in the world. What is it? 21 billion? Is it 100 times more than Bitcoin? It's also like 100 times faster, 100 times cheaper to transact, and it could do more than Bitcoin. I know that sounds crazy. And what I believe coming in the near future is going to be more decentralized than Bitcoin. Not only because it has 5 mining algorithms and Bitcoin only has 1, but when we're talking about nodes, and we're going to get to Bitcoin in a second, but let's just look at Litecoin. Remember, this is one of the coins that is going to be having an ETF planned for it. A lot of fund managers want to buy it up, right? But it's because most of these fund managers in Wall Street don't know about Digibyte. They don't know that it is truly American made, proven American made, and it has been left off of most of these internet lists of American made cryptocurrencies. And it's for a reason. All right. So people around the world have been buying it up little by little. I have never sold one Digibyte since the first time I bought it in 2017. But let me show you this Node Explorer right here. This is from blockchair.com. And right now there are 982 nodes running on Litecoin, it says. This is from Blockchair. I want you to realize that in the last 3 weeks, 4,000 new nodes have popped into the Digibyte, have started on the Digibyte blockchain. This is growing very rapidly. Or right now, it's a penny. Okay. I've got some big news about Taproot, and I want to explain what Taproot is and why it's a big deal. But just so you know, ever since you've seen Bitcoin have an Ethernet, Ethereum have network issues, congestion issues, things like that. That's one thing because there's a lot being built on Ethereum. But one thing is the speed and the price of transactions have been an issue for both of these networks. One, it comes down to how many nodes are out there. All right. Because for a transaction to happen on a blockchain, you have to have a specific amount of guidelines that are set by individuals and companies and let's say cryptocurrency exchanges. You have to have a certain amount of nodes to record a transaction before it can go through, and then eventually they all have to record it on all the nodes, right? Well, one thing that limits this speed is the amount of nodes out there. Digibyte has been faster than Bitcoin, Litecoin, all the entire time. It's never need massive upgrades like Lightning Network or anything like that. But right now, it just went through Taproot. It's a big deal. Guys, if you own Digibyte, do me a favor and type DGB down below or Digibyte and let everyone know that you own it. And this is getting exciting. So this comes from at Digibyte Coin on X. It says Taproot on Digibyte can significantly enhance, and it was just authorized. What was it, like 97% of the community, the miners, agreed on this, okay? This was a massive landslide. And it's really exciting because I was talking with Jared. Jared and Tate and I, the creator of Digibyte, are good friends. And he was like, I really hope this goes through because I'm scared because we don't know. This crypto is so decentralized that we don't know where all the miners are. They're all over the world hidden. And they're out there mining, and we really need this upgrade because we want to start doing some stuff, big stuff on this network. And I'm not joking. There are amazing coders and hackers all around the world that have been working on this for not $1. And that's why I decided to do the course on this, to raise awareness and raise some funds so that I could start paying for specific advertising, not advertising, but like, we want to build a company on Digibyte. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, right? No, we never know. But what we can do is try. And there are very few crypto content creators that know anything about Digibyte, because they know nothing about mining. They don't know how to run nodes unless they're done for them, right? It's like a push, push the easy button kind of thing. Most crypto content creators don't really even have a lot of money into crypto. I know this for a fact. There's massive guys out there with maybe, $20,000 involved. And that just blows my mind, right? So they don't know about Digibyte. And it is one of the longest UXTL blockchains on Earth ever created in history, with not 1 ounce of downtime, not 1 second of downtime. All right. So this Taproot was big because there are some people around the world, let's just say, they've got some pretty big plans. I've been hearing about it on forums, on certain places that most people don't know how to access for information, and they got big plans for Digibyte, and I'm excited about it. All right. Now, as I talk about Taproot, understand, like I say, this is less about making money and more about decentralized future for you and your kids. All right. This list of American-made cryptos are about to come out, and there is a ton of buzz already starting on X about Digibyte. There's a link to my X account. Please watch it, because I'm going to be putting out important updates about Digibyte on there. But this is where the Trumps look for information on crypto. This is where Elon Musk looks for information on crypto. Elon, likes to talk about Doge as a joke, right? And it caused the price to increase. What you have to realize, and hopefully Elon knows it, but I don't think he does. Digibyte saved Doge. The creators of Doge reached out at one point to the creators of Digibyte and asked for help, and they took part of the code from Digibyte, because it's decentralization. This is helping each other out, helping out projects, right? And saved the Dogecoin project, right? So would you like to be a part of what has helped and saved and be decentralized, or do you want to invest only in centralized things? I invest in centralized cryptos because I'm here to make money, right? I invested in Digibyte to make humanity better. If there's going to be cryptocurrencies out there, let's get one out there let's think about this. What if millions of people all bought $50 worth of Digibyte? First off, it'd tie up a ton of it. But what would happen all of a sudden if everybody had a way to transact completely decentralized? Think about how powerful this is. And smart contracts, in my opinion, all it takes is somebody to code it onto Digibyte or right around the corner. Can you imagine a small the ability to put smart contracts on Digibyte? Think about that. It's totally available. The 5 mining algorithms are there. All right. It says here, here's some examples of use cases that could benefit from Taproot on Digibyte. Time lock transactions. Taproot enables developers to create transactions that release Digibyte payments only after specific conditions, such as date or event, are met. Think this is smart contracts, okay? This is a contract on a ledger. All right. For example, an individual can set up a trust fund on Digibyte blockchain where funds are locked until a child reaches a certain age, like 18. The transaction would appear as a standard one on the blockchain, enhancing privacy, while the time lock condition remains hidden until executed. All right, that's one example. And I'm throwing this out there because I know there's a lot of computer coders around the world that are listening to this going, oh yeah, this would be sweet. And you could start complete businesses around this on top of Digibyte and allow all those nodes to record these transactions, again, with total privacy involved. Then there's conditional payments based on external data. With Taproot, payments can be tied to external data, feeds via oracles, enabling use cases like decentralized insurance for betting markets. For instance, a farmer could purchase weather-based insurance on Digibyte, where a payout in Digibyte is automatically triggered if rainfall drops below a threshold. All right, I'm not going to read all these. It goes into some real in-depth stuff here. And you know what? I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to do it right now. I think I already did. Nope, I didn't. So I'm going to repost it on my account so you can read all of this. Please go check it out on X. My account on X is down below. Then you've got next generation payment channels. Taproot could improve layer 2 scaling solutions like payment channels on Digibyte. For example, two parties could set up a channel for frequent low cost Digibyte transactions like micropayments for streaming content with complex smart contract logic running off chain. Taproot ensures these transactions remain private and settle efficiently on the blockchain. Look, the fact is, this is an extremely important upgrade, and it was needed because I know of coders that work on Digibyte for free, not getting paid a dime, that want to build applications on top of this. The truth is, the reason why Bitcoin is where it is right now and it's number one is because it was first mover. Digibyte was a handful of years afterwards, along with Litecoin. I don't know if you get this. I mean, I own some Litecoin, but there's not a ton of use case for Litecoin out there. And the truth is, it's slower than Digibyte, and it's less decentralized than Digibyte. Litecoin, how many nodes is it running? How many mining algorithms does it have? Digibyte is multi-algo and is absolutely exploded past Litecoin. I think next is going to be the how many YouTubers or how many crypto media companies have the guts to start covering Digibyte, because a lot of people have not been in crypto as long as I have, or as long as, I mean, do me a favor, type what year you got into crypto. I was January 2017. You know, it's not like ancient, right? But when you look at the knowledge base of most crypto investors or enthusiasts, it's very limited because of how long they've been in. And a lot of these scaling solutions and problem solving issues happened automatically for people where they just hit the easy button because companies built up a customer base making things easy, right? Man, Jeff, I wish I was in 2013. Cool Cosmos 2010. So you guys know about Digibyte. And so the truth is, and I'm going to try and get the word out as fast as I can. Like, this is a time sensitive thing because I think that there are powers that be that do not want President Trump announcing that Digibyte was American made. Okay. They understand how true decentralization works. And look at the Trumps they invested in a cryptocurrency platform and exchange. They're touting decentralization. Well, how is it decentralized? A lot of people use the word decentralized and they don't even know what it means. They go, oh no, people can vote on things. Well, okay, that's great and all, but there's more to decentralization than that. And so anyone should be allowed to run a node. Anyone should be able to easily access information, permissionless, all around the world. Not only that, the mining algorithms should be decentralized. There is a mechanism between the 5 mining algorithms on Digibyte that cause them to equal out, so you can't have a 51% attack. You know, there have been times where we have seen miners ramp up in certain countries. If you get enough miners on one side of Bitcoin, it's centralized. I'm sorry, it's true. If you get a certain amount of mining hash power that it can take over 51% and then they can vote a specific way, that is not decentralization anymore. All right? That's not. Multi-algo is the way to go. Guys, type 10 if you understand and agree with that. People don't get that because it just hasn't happened yet. But there's a point, and I want you to remember this. There's a way. Think about this. If the government's having a hard time buying Bitcoin, and they've already came out and said, hey, we want to buy 5% of the available Bitcoin, why don't they just start mining it? And think about what the US government or governments could do if they started mining Bitcoin. And we've already seen it. There are already governments out there straight up announcing that they are mining Bitcoin. What if they all of a sudden have enough energy and create enough of the hash rate or the power to mine or to control over 50%? Well, then they are the ones that agree on the next upgrades or downgrades or anything that could change. And I don't think anyone's really ready for that mentally. Think about it. If they just said, you know what, over 51% of the miners agree on this, or the majority share. I'm throwing out numbers. I apologize. It's hard when you're going live, but I want people to think about this. What if all of a sudden they just went, "No, we're going to do this"? It's a big deal, and I don't think people understand how serious this is. Anyway, I think they will in about 10 years. You'll find out. There are vulnerabilities in some of these algorithms, mining algorithms, and there is a day where I believe you're going to see a hack on specific cryptos, and then they're going to go, just buy our digital dollar. So I think it's time to set 2 things: make as much money as we can to get out of debt and become prosperous, so we're not on the government dole, And the second thing that's the most important part about all this is making our voices heard, true decentralization. And I'm telling you, if we've got a handful of weeks before those lists come out, and the truth is, Digibyte was created in America and it should lead the pack. I've never sold one of my Digibyte this entire time. I've only accumulated. None of that's financial advice, okay? But right now, Digibyte is 1 penny. What are you gonna do? You gonna buy $10 with it, or are you gonna sit back and take the $10 and buy a cheeseburger or an overpriced coffee? I hope you got something out of this. Today's last day for the sale for the digital prepper, the crypto prepper course. It'll teach you everything about Digibyte, how to run a node, how to download a core wallet, all of that stuff. It's more of an investment in your mind and how you think about crypto from here on out. And you will judge everything based off of Digibyte. I guarantee it. And just because some website says that their cryptocurrency like Ripple is decentralized, yeah, get involved in Digibyte and you'll go, now I know the difference. And you won't believe the hype. All right, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.